Asia Today also talks to the man behind this New York concert to raise funds for victims of the South Asian earthquake. Now, a special concert's being held in the United States for victims and survivors of October's South Asian earthquake. The performance of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony took place on Monday night at New York's prestigious Carnegie Hall. The concert's artistic director, George Mathew, told Asia Today the aim was to raise funds and awareness about the continuing struggle for survival across the divided region of Kashmir.
And from what we hear, the need is ever greater every day. And we have now gathered as a musical community, not only in America but in the West, to see what we can do, to not only provide some financial basis to help, but also to raise the awareness of this disaster in the public consciousness.
It's definitely a worthwhile cause, and judging the climate, today's climate, I think it's a good thing to get involved in, to get out and do something, and this, to me, it seemed like one of those causes, so here I am.
I do think that, South Asia is something that we definitely need to pay attention to and try to do as much as we can for it.
I've never conducted the Ninth Symphony before in concert. It's a first for me. It's probably the single most well-known piece of classical music that has ever come along. And there's a reason for that. It proclaims joy and happiness and comfort, most of all comfort, as a universal right, not just for human beings, but for everything that lives, every sentient being. And that actually appears in the text. There's a place where Schiller says, ecstasy is given to the worm. And the idea that the imperative that we have as human beings is to embrace one another. And that also occurs in the text. There's a marvelous place where the words "Seid umschlungen Millionen," be embraced you millions. And it is a voice of God, and it is the voice of humanity merging at that moment, saying, come, let us really put our arms around each other. I'm unexpectedly having the opportunity to work with these extraordinary musicians, some of whom are the greatest masters of their instrument ever to walk the earth. So that is what it has done for me. But beyond that, to experience the level of generosity and the level of outpouring of human warmth and of all that is good in people has been something that I don't think I will ever forget as long as I live. To have been able to do the Ninth Symphony for this purpose in, say, in a shed somewhere, or in a church, or in a high school auditorium would have been miraculous. But to do it in this environment, in Carnegie Hall, with these wonderful musicians, has been just the most extraordinary thing. And more than that, to know that it's actually going to mean life and death. It's going to help people who are facing life and death odds. And maybe it'll be just one person, maybe it'll be two, maybe it'll be 1,000. It will all have been worthwhile. And so it's probably the most important concert I will ever do in my life.
Beethoven's Ninth performed under artistic director George Mathew. Just about it from this edition of Asia Today. Don't forget to tune in, of course, for our morning edition. I'll have the international news after this short break, but for now, from me, David.